Hi, I'm John Hall at TriMech, and today we're going to take a look at SOLIDWORKS Composer. SOLIDWORKS Composer is a digital authoring tool for generating out content downstream for all sorts of different applications, whether it be technical documentation, assembly work instructions, manufacturing information, or even tools for things like sales and marketing documentation. You can generate out whatever information you want directly off of your 3D engineering data and really leverage that design work downstream. A lot of companies will typically wait till very late in the design process to generate out this documentation, which can cause a lot of lag time from bringing a product from design to market. So by generating out this content much earlier in the design cycle, you can actually get your product to market much faster. So let's take a look at SOLIDWORKS Composer. And what we're going to be taking a look at here are things like assembly guides, owner's manuals, safety work instructions, and maybe even some marketing material and a part replacement catalog. So first, let's take a look at some traditional documentation needs from within Composer. So Composer is capable of generating out lots of different content, and one of the main things that people use is high-res images. So as you can see here, we've got an operator's guide with a lot of different embedded high-res images in it. This could be a traditional document that would be embedded inside of things like Microsoft Word or Adobe, so that you can generate out this content downstream for traditional documentation. Now, you may also be generating out videos for things like assembly instructions or even marketing material for your website. This is very easy to publish out from within Composer. Another type of technical documentation that Composer is capable of generating is what we call an SVG file, or a scalable vector graphics file. These are really great for things like parts catalogs or order forms, because you can actually see that these are interactive documents that you can hover over to highlight or even create and embed clickable links that will go to other SVG files or embed into your website. The other nice thing about these is that they are scalable, so as you zoom in and zoom out on these, they'll never get grainy and they'll never get pixelated like traditional images. And finally, one other piece of content you can generate from Composer are interactive files. These are typically in use for things like assembly and manufacturing instructions on the shop floor. And so they can actually be interactive, so you can see you can have assembly procedure steps embedded in them, as you see here. And these are also interactive, so you can rotate, zoom, pan, take internals, or even embed a video player in here as well, so that someone actually can see what's going on at any given step inside the assembly process. So all of this content is very easy to create from within Composer, and you can see there's a wide range of different materials and deliverables that can be generated directly from your CAD models. So to see how this works, let's take a quick dive into Composer itself and see how this information is generated on the 3D side. So very quickly, I can generate out any sort of views that I want from within Composer to generate this content. So what we're going to do is very quickly generate out a couple of views for how this shield, guard, and grinding wheel actually fit into this bench grinder. So you can see here it's very easy to explode things like these screws and the shield cover, and then I can even take that further and show how the grinding wheel fits in. So one thing that's really cool about Composer is it will automatically pull forward things like the assembly tree for things like sub-assemblies. And what we can do is we can very quickly grab this grinding wheel and pull it in a direction, and even do things like linear explodes, which will allow me to auto space my explode and get a really nice looking final presentation for how this fits together. So generating views is easy in Composer, but we can also generate out really sharp looking authoring tools. So whether it be explode lines or bright red arrows to show how this assembly fits together, you can really get your point across inside Composer. So now that I've got content created inside of Composer, I can now publish this out downstream to all of those different sources that you saw. So let's take a look at how that functions inside of Composer. So to publish content from within Composer, it's very simple. There's all these different workshops to publish out tech illustrations, high-res images, and videos directly from within the software. So if you take a look here, we can publish out the SVG file, the high-res images, and all of that content very quickly and easily in just a couple of clicks. So not only can you publish all that content from within Composer, but you can also use engineering data to leverage things like design changes to drive all that content. The nice part about this is you can start preparing all of that documentation much earlier in your design cycle, and then as your designs change, you can watch that downstream content all update from within Composer and all of the embedded documents downstream. So from within Composer, all I need to do is simply update this file with the new version of the documentation. And once that updates, you'll see that my Composer document will actually update to reflect all the new design changes that I had done at the engineering level. So this is really fantastic because all of the vent cuts, switches, and other things that I just added to this document get captured and carried forward to all the downstream documentation. The great part about this is that leverages any sort of design changes downstream into all that published content. So that's been just a quick overview of SOLIDWORKS Composer. As you can see, it's a great tool for generating documentation downstream, whether it be assembly instructions, marketing material, high-res images, or even owner's manuals. You can generate all this information directly off the CAD models very quickly and very easily. And the best part is, when you update the CAD models, all of that information is going to update downstream. So you can start to generate marketing material and technical documentation much earlier in your design cycle, allowing you to get the product much faster to market. So that's been a quick overview of Composer. Thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to go over any sort of information inside Composer. Just head over to TriMech.com.